Tight fit. Tight fit. So you're playing footsies with me. Put your headphones on, homeboy.
See, this stuff would be good to keep.
What?
Like dispenser?
Yeah, well, I don't know why you just don't push the button and go, because we got to. Oh. I know, but I'm saying, you sat there for it. Ready? We're sitting there having a conversation. You might as well just press play. Press go.
I think we should do a roundtable on self-restraint and control, because that's how I feel every day coming in here and not wanting to slap you.
Does it get to that point? No, seriously. Does it ever get to that point where you get so upset? Like,
I don't get mad.
No.
I really don't.
I get it. Okay, but do you ever get to the point where I'm talking so much shit?
I want to slap you?
Or Tyler's talking so much shit that you just like, the fuck? Like, I just want to slap somebody. Based on, I'm just saying, based on the time you put in, the
time we all put in. The time we all put in.
Okay, no.
I just wish you would respect yourself more. That's all I ask, is that you respect yourself more.
Oh, my gosh. Not
anyway,
respect you, respect myself.
Yeah, I don't care about me. I care about you, Darren.
Okay.
Anyway, Q&A episode 13. Hey, by the way, and I doubt he ever listens to this, but did you see that Andy Frisella knocked us off on this?
Oh, with the yes, with the Q&As now.
Andy, we're calling you out. You act like you had some novel idea on this Q&A. He's on his third episode.
All of a sudden,
he said. In fact, in the first one, he said, "Yeah, we were just sitting around the locker room and we made this up. We thought it'd be fun." Yeah, right, dude. Okay. You know you're subscribed. You know you listen to the Darren Woodson Show 3 days a week. And you stole the idea from us.
He stole the idea, and his was damn good.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was good. It was really good. I was nitpicking it like, oh my God, we need to utilize some of that.
Just give us a shout out is all we ask.
Just give us a little love.
Just give us a little love that you stole the idea from. Sal, you too. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he has much to do with it, but we'll blame him too. Yeah. And DJ. AKA
DJ,
Big Russ. Big Reg,
AKA. DJ was great on there too, man. I mean, they look.
They're awesome.
I thought
they've got a great show.
Yeah.
If you're not subscribed to the Real AF with Andy Frisella, go check it out. Anyway, the topic at hand today, the big story in the sports world, two big stories. Number one, Texas and OU joining the SEC. And it looks like it's going down. It doesn't look like it's some rumor that may or may not happen. It's happening. And I think it's as soon as the 2022
they come on in
season. So what you think? What's your thoughts on that?
Look, I think the entire college landscape is changing, and this is not something that's new. I think we've known for the last couple of years that the way college football has been looked at over the past is going to change, and it's going to change into this direction of big conferences that are going to start leading the way and teams actually joining these major conferences. And I feel like the networks are all behind this because the network contracts are so big. The SEC is such a huge conference in which all eyes look. I mean, let's just be honest. If we're watching college football on Saturday, which I know you don't, you watch more college football than you do the NFL.
No, actually not true. I watch more NFL.
And that's not a lot.
Not a lot, but it's more.
Okay. Well, anyways, the way in watching college football, I can tell you, every Saturday, I'm tuning in. I'm a Pac-12 guy, but I'm tuning into what's going on in the SEC.
For sure.
Because the competition is that thick. And it's the best of the best. The college scouts are at every single game. So I don't blame. Look, if it's a money deal, Texas is going to chase the money. OU is going to chase the money. 100%. The competition is there. And even in Texas, and we've seen this in the state of Texas. We've seen Texas A&M, who was the first to join out of any of the schools in Texas. They were the first to join the SEC. The recruiting classes that they were bringing in. Mm-hmm. The kids in Texas wanted to play in the SEC. Yeah. Because of the eyes. And now, finally, Texas and OU have recognized that. Texas A&M being the first, but Texas and OU are recognizing that. Honestly, I think the recruiting is really going to step up for both those programs as well. And they're going to be competitive in the SEC. And maybe not this first, when they first enter, But as time goes on, they're going to get extremely competitive.
Yeah. So what's your overall thought? Is it good for college football? Bad
Absolutely.
for college football?
It's
indifferent? Doesn't matter?
It doesn't. To me, look, I want to see the best of the best.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of shakeup, not only in the SEC. We're not in the Big 12. I'm not sure what happens to the Big 12. But your two biggest programs are gone.
Who's the best team now? What, Oklahoma State?
Oklahoma State. Maybe it's, Texas. Well, not Texas Tech. TCU, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what happens to TCU? I heard the other day TCU's looking at Pac-12.
Yes. Yeah.
So is the Big 12 no more?
So is Big 12 no more. I've also heard rumors that the Big 10 is looking at SC and UCLA.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be some mergers that are going to take place in due time. I'm curious to see what it looks like, but I love the competitive nature of where they're going right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, who doesn't want to tune in to OU, Alabama on a Saturday?
Yeah.
I mean, we all do.
I think as a fan, in general, you would say this is a good thing.
Yeah.
And it's fun because – and the money aspect for the big – look at what Texas and OU – I mean – what's going to generate more income for you? Going to play friggin'
Iowa State,
Kansas State in wherever Manhattan, Kansas, or going to play LSU down in the Bayou?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So totally get it from their perspective. Mm-hmm. It's all about money. That's what college football has turned into. Mm-hmm. Which leads me to my next question for you. I've got a couple questions, but on that path, when you were playing, what was it, late 80s?
Late 80s, early 90s.
Late 80s. Was it as big of a business mentality back then?
No, it wasn't.
There wasn't
enough, as much money involved. And listen, the SEC wasn't what it is. And back then it wasn't even the Big 12. It was the Southwest Conference here that was basically considered the Texas and the OUs and the Nebraskas and all. So the dynamics are different. What's changed the game are the networks.
Yeah,
have changed the game and the influx of money that has come in, and then not only that, but then you have the sponsorship, you have the Nikes and the Reeboks, the Adidases of the world. You have so much money and so much attention to the college game. Coaches now are getting paid $9-10 million. Coach, I mean that was unheard of when I was playing. So,
yeah, the A&M coach, what is it, 10 years, $75 million, and he's not even the highest paid.
Yeah, and these college stadiums, just look at the money. I mean. You go to University of Texas or go to Texas A&M and see what those facilities look like. You walk in that locker room and they're top notch. They're way better than pro.
You're downgrading going pro.
Absolutely, and it's a race. Yeah. It's an arms race. Basically, we got to what organization, what college is going to have the best facilities.
Yeah.
And, I've heard, Nebraska, A&M, there's all these, Ohio State, there's all these so much money that's been introduced into these colleges on the sports programs that, they got to compete with one another.
Yeah. What's interesting is all eyes are on the SEC. So obviously, you want to be a part of it if you want to recruit. But, Texas and OU have no problem recruiting. That's not the problem. And they still it doesn't translate to wins necessarily. They always have a top, OU does a little bit better. But Texas, especially the last few years, they always have a top 10 program, recruiting-wise.
Yeah, recruiting-wise. Yeah,
I do think Sarkisian's going to turn around. I think he's a good coach.
I think so, too.
He's going to be good.
I think, and then you got Lincoln Riley and OU, man. That
dude's a freaking stud.
They're two programs that I honestly feel will enter the SEC, and they're not going to be doormats. They're going to be highly competitive. So, the question
there won't be doormats, but they'll be, what, 5th or 6th?
No. I think what we're going to see is we still see a lot of talent that comes out of the state of Texas that goes everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
But a lot of that talent has been going to the SEC. Mm-hmm. A lot of that Texas talent has because they want to play at that level. Right. I think now you're going to start seeing that some of that same talent say, hey, I'm not going to go to Alabama. I can go right down to Austin and play every week.
Right.
And
still get the SEC level.
Still get that same level.
And it's interesting because something you said earlier, you grew up always wanting Pac-12. Now, it was a different time because you weren't exposed to other conferences, so I get that. But will this – so maybe Texas kids don't have the mentality of Big 12, I want to stay home, I want to grow up in this conference. I guess it is, I want to go SEC. I want to go where it's number one. I
want to go where the eyes are going to be. Pro scouts are going to every SEC game. I mean, just think about when the draft comes up every year.
Yeah.
The number of kids that are coming out of that conference is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because you have so many scouts. Every week you're going to have scouts at the Ole Miss, Mississippi State, versus, Alabama or LSU or Florida or whatnot. It's the obvious is that those scouts are going to be there for you, be there for those games. So why not?
Yeah.
Why not join that?
As Texas Tech and TCU and these other schools that are being left behind, I'm sitting here thinking, hey, this might be an opportunity. The Texas OU leave, go beat each other up in the SEC, gives us a chance to win the Big 12. Now we get path right to the playoff.
Is it going to be called the Big? I just don't
see.
I don't see the Big 12 as there's only today.
7 or 8 teams left.
Yeah, so I want to see what conference is that going to be.
Right.
What are they?
Who are they recruiting?
Who are they going to recruit? Because they're going to have to put the pieces back together,
which it's not going to come close to matching.
And again, the rumors are out there about the Big 10, reaching out to some of the, SC or UCLA, or is there a merger between the Big 10 and the Pac-12, and to get the best of the best.
What else I heard yesterday was, and I tried to look this up to verify it. I haven't verified it yet, but around the office, people were saying that apparently Clemson and Florida State are looking at.
That's what I heard.
SEC.
Now that's what I heard, but I went over. I went to ESPN.
Yeah, I haven't confirmed that.
Yes, I went to. Listen, the one thing I do in my time working at ESPN, the one thing they do before they put any information out there, they have this news desk, and they source that information. So I could hear things on Twitter and all these rumors.
ESPN does not validate anything.
Dude, they validate. Trust me, they're not putting it out there unless they have some backing on it, right? They're going to have a number of sources say this is happening, then they'll put it out. They're just not going to just throw it out there. So I'm looking at those rumors, Clemson, Florida State reaching out to the SEC and all. And I saw that on Twitter. I did not see that on ESPN, and maybe it came out today or something. I have not checked the news, but that's when that happens, and I'll say, okay.
Yeah. Well, geographically, it makes sense for those two.
But
makes more sense than Texas and Oklahoma.
Woo!
Yeah. I mean, a super conference is what it is.
Yeah, super conference.
And again, as a fan, I could care. That's awesome. Cool. Get to see an awesome game every week. But there's got to be downsides that we're just not thinking about.
Yeah.
So the other big story, and we'll get a quick take on this, and we don't want to harp necessarily specifically on this individual, because I'm guessing this is just one of it's going to start to turn to a trend. So I'm more interested in your opinion on the trend as opposed to this particular person. So the number 1 recruit in the class just came out yesterday and said he's skipping his senior year. He's going to go enroll early.
High school.
Okay. Yeah, he's the quarterback out of Southlake, and he's been committed to Ohio State. He's going to go enroll at Ohio State in a matter of a week or two, I guess.
Right.
And part of the reason we talked a few weeks ago about the NIL, name, image, and likeness, and the new, regulations, I guess, that allow players to profit off their name. And that's part of the reason he said he wanted to do it. He said, I want to go make money. I can't make money in high school. I want to go make money starting now. So what's your overall, it doesn't matter his name. That's what I said. I'm not trying to harp on just one individual person.
Right.
This is but I want to get your opinion more on the overall trend of the mentality of, hey, I'm going to go get mine today. What's best for me? And I'm going to leave my team behind. What's your thoughts?
Look, every individual can make a decision on what they want to do. There are a lot of kids that have been in the past, have played their senior years and then moved on in the month of January to said college, right? Just, left high school after their season.
That makes more sense because at least they finished the season.
Yeah, so we've seen that take place over the last few years. I would say personally, look, I would want my son or myself, I would want to experience my senior year. I think there's so much to be said about playing that last year because there's so many memories that I have of my senior year in high school. Now, I'm nowhere close to what this kid is or what these kids are and how the landscape is today, but there's so many memories that have lasted till the day. I can remember certain games and the experiences in those locker rooms. And I think that's those kids at 17, 18 years old, you need to have that.
Yeah.
You need to go through that experience and separate yourself from the me and make it more of the team. And this kid in particular in Southlake, he might have a chance to probably win state, So or take his team to state and win that. And they went last year, they didn't get there, but But there's going to be kids that have these opportunities to spend that time their senior year, and I think that you should always, as parents, we should remind our kids of that. But
well, and that was what I asked you. You and your situation, growing up the way you did, you've got a chance to go make millions of dollars.
Yes.
What are you doing there?
That was the but. But, and I'm not going to just put kids that are in, dire circumstances.
Yeah, he's not in a dire circumstance. Yeah, he's fine.
I mean, there's kids across the board. Again, we have the ability in this country to live a capitalistic lifestyle. We can do and make the decisions that we want that benefit us individually. If I'm a kid that's probably coming from a certain situation, financial situation where there's an opportunity, why take the risk of getting hurt my senior year in high school and not making the leap over into college and benefiting from NIL? Like that's a business decision. Mm-hmm. And right now it sounds like the decision that's being made is based off of business and what it looks like. And I can't knock anyone for having that mindset and in moving in that direction, because you never know what the possibilities are.
Yeah.
You never know if you walk out and tear an ACL or if you tear an Achilles or whatnot, and what your career looks like moving forward. So, I think it's got to be a well thought out decision, but I won't knock any kid that makes an informed decision to say, hey, I'm going to skip and I'm going to join the ranks of whatever college program it is and take advantage of the NIL situation.
Yeah. So for you personally, what would you have done? Again, your background, knowing your history, what would you have done, you think, if given that same opportunity?
If given the same opportunity, which I definitely, Ben, I don't know. Honestly, it depends. I guess a lot of it, if I was in the same type of circumstance and living the way that I was living then.
Yeah, let's say everything is exactly the same.
And the rollout, and look, any kid that's 17, 18 years old at that point, 17 years old at that point, look, and someone's waving thousands of dollars, not even millions of dollars. I'm talking about thousands of dollars, $1,500 in my face back then.
Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah, man, I may be in. And I think that conversation is going to be with my mother and I, and we're going to have a really good sit down, figure out the landscape of what it looks like, what this looks like as far as the NIL rules, the college program, how it's, the integrity of the process that I'm about to go. I would like to know a lot more about that. And then based on that, then I'd make a decision. But I can see a lot of kids taking advantage of this situation because of their financial situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm torn, I think. I've got two competing mentalities here. I've got the mentality, and I guess you could deem it old school, which is you've got an obligation to your team. It's 2 weeks before the season. Now, I get it. Going forward, kids will be able to be more proactive and make the decision earlier. But it's to me, the mentality of 2 weeks before my senior season starts, I'm bailing on my team. I'm missing out on opportunities to, make memories with my guys, and I'll never be able to get this back. So that's one avenue. But the other avenue is exactly what you're saying, which is, hey, I've got an opportunity. Football doesn't last forever. Mm-hmm. Even best case scenario, I'm done by the age of 30.
Yep. So if I can age of 30. Good luck with that one. That's a great career.
And my high school buddies aren't paying my mortgage at 25. So I've got to be able to look out for what's in the best interest of me long term.
Right.
And if I can have the opportunity to go ahead and generate an income that could set me up potentially for the rest of my life, that's probably a strong consideration. And again, I think it's all about the individual. I'm not saying anybody should do one way or another, or one way's bad. It's up to the individual. It's up to the family. And you're right. I think it's a long, hard decision based on your personal circumstance.
Yes.
I'm not going to fault him for making that decision. I'm assuming I would do the same thing, knowing the way that I grew up and the situation I was in. If I had that opportunity, I don't know, because you can make memories. He's going to go make great memories at Ohio State too, right? So it's not like you're totally leaving behind opportunities.
So let me ask: Does he
I don't know,
have to? Does he hit the full? He has to graduate. So
apparently
he's already finished?
Yeah. Apparently he just had one little thing left to do to get the hours.
Summer school or something
like that. So
you cannot, man. Look, either way.
Yeah.
Well,
this decision is the same basically as a junior in college. Leaving early. I graduated. I'm done with school. I've met those obligations. I have my degree.
Not even graduated.
Well, yeah, some don't. Yeah, some don't. But I'm saying if you have graduated, if you've taken care of that obligation, and now you've got the opportunity to go play professional ball, then
you've played your 3 years, and
why not go?
Yeah,
this is just accelerating to the younger phase.
And how many times have we knocked a lot of these kids in college who did just that? They're 3 years that they've played as an athlete or up. Right? They've met that requirement, and instead of playing in the bowl game, they sit it out. And that's one of the knock has been, well, why are you sitting this game out?
I've got no problem with that.
Because why? Well, why don't you have a problem with that?
I don't have a problem with any of it. I think is what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like I can't, I'm not gonna hold these kids accountable for that. Then why should I hold a kid in high school? He's just younger age. Accountable for making a decision on his end.
Look, I think one big thing this podcast has taught me is to quit trying to make decisions for other people.
Oh, man.
And quit trying to dictate how other people live their life.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things that I've taken away. Advice and it's all good. And trust me, I seek advice more than anybody you've ever met. I promise you that. But I can't tell that young man how to what decision to make. I can only think for myself and what I would do in that scenario given the opportunity. And I think if we all took a little bit, it's fun to have these debates and get all riled up, but at the end of the day, I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and what that kid's decision made has nothing to do with my life.
Because we don't, listen, everyone doesn't understand your circumstances, my circumstances, that kid's circumstances. I mean, everyone's
you don't know the whole story.
are different, and we don't know the whole story. So, allow each other, including self, to live. Yeah. Live your life.
What does it matter to you that he goes and does that?
At all.
But again, it is fun to debate.
Yeah, it is.
All right, guys, have a great weekend. Thank you so much. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We appreciate you.